To love our lives with tarot, I think there's no better place to start than the weekly spread. I've shared in many videos and with many decks how a weekly spread with cards representing different aspects to search for or to seek out, it can add joy and curiosity, focus and adventure into every extraordinary week we're gifted, no matter how ordinary it seems. Really living a week ahead spread and seeking out cards, whether that be seeking out the Queen of Swords at the top of a tower or mermaids in an ocean, it just might take you to places where curiosity breeds magic. It just might take you to places where the very walls and the sparkles breathe new messages into your soul. You start a divination joy loop. It goes from cards to experience to joy and back again. And like me, you just might stumble upon your meadow card unexpectedly from your weekly spread. And I honestly think it's moments like this that prove to you that magic is real. You've just got to open your eyes and your heart to see it and hold a curiosity first. So use your week ahead spread. Introducing settings with tarot can also make life absolutely wonderful, whether it be the beautiful field or the riverside of a nature deck, or say a woodland of a fae deck, or more specific places like here at Anne Hathaway's cottage inspired by my Shakespeare decks. We are beyond the reading here and we are in the realms of adventure tarot. So explore your locality, its history, its people, its stories, track down those settings. That's where my Soul Stories series began, gentle ghost hunting to find the stories and peoples of my locality. It's seen me hand in hand with the ghosts of my past, down haunted mines and even the grandeur of Aston Hall. I'd say for this practice, designate a deck. It just makes it so much more fun. For me, it's the Barbara Walker Tarot, which holds all of my soul story adventures. I sometimes think that our tarot decks really like to be given jobs like this, and for me now, the Barbara Walker Tarot, it feels like a travelling companion that comes with me and often my daughter when we go to these paranormal activity rich places. Very different to the story that I found with Margaret's house. Margaret's house was a year-long adventure with a mother's voice that called to me through time and space, eventually leading me to track down her house with the Stretch Tarot. For me, the Stretch Tarot will always be Margaret's deck. Who would have thought this type of activity and searching out setting would lead to the most profound tarot reading I'd ever done? The third point is using nature as the fifth suit of the tarot. Now, nature in whichever way you can get out, whether it's looking at a weather app or looking out the window or working with a window box and a bird box. It might be going out hiking or huge hikes and wild camping. However you can interact with nature, nature can also give you whispers if you trust it. I remember this walk in Wales in this beautiful fairy tale wood where every time I heard a whisper to pull another tarot card, a bench magically appeared. For me, it's the Gill Tarot that is my accompanying buddy for nature walks. Point number 4 is use the word questing. It is such an exciting word. So have the word questing in your head when you're looking at tarot or working with tarot. For me, a really good questing deck for me turned out to be the Dark Goddess Tarot because of this card, the Sheila Nagig card. Now questing, it's all about wanting to find something out, to learn something, to quest into an adventure with an end goal. I wanted to know about Sheila Nagig, so I started a Sheila Nagig quest to visit all the Sheila Nagigs in England and Ireland. This is an adventure I am about to take up again, but the tarot started it, so I took the same deck, the Dark Goddess Tarot, with me. This is now my Sheila Nagig questing deck, and at every Sheila and a gig I get a message, and it is fabulous. Point number 5 is story. We've already looked at finding stories in your locality, but what about your story? Really embrace the idea of finding your own story. We often do that in journaling, and if you can't afford a really expensive journal, like I can't, make your own journals out of scrap. These are just glued and stapled and stitched together, scrap Amazon envelopes. And within it, I am the hero of the story. I'm finding out what I think, what I believe, what I'm interested in, the next new quest. These books become magic in their own right too. It's not just a journal to be thrown away. Fill it with your love and your curiosity and your passion. Fill it with stickers and tags. And you could use it for magic then, for flicking through and getting messages once you've finished with it. Put your study in it. Put your explorations of new decks. This is my exploration page when I was working with the Dreams of Gaia. So you are the hero of your story, and tarot is very much about finding your own story, holding the pen to your life, letting you be the focus. Often life and people and circumstances take our attention away from ourselves, our responsibilities, people's demands. We sometimes get locked in toxicity. These sparkly journals bring the pen back to my own hand. And then talking about passions, once you've found your passions, layer in tarot with those passions. I am currently doing a DIY literature degree and I am loving it. So reading and books, studying Victorian literature is a huge part of my year so far. These are some books I've read, and I'm layering in tarot with it to extend the joy of those books. If you've ever got to the end of a book and thought, I wish that could continue, you can do just that with tarot. And it doesn't need to just be fiction books. I'm also studying Gothic fiction. I put tarot with it, and I then went on an exploration to Worcester Cathedral to see Gothic architecture. Exploration, curiosity, it soon puts you back into adventure tarot again. It is a never-ending loop. Whilst I was exploring Worcester, I also found a new bookshop. Again, the loop just goes on and on. In this bookshop, I met a poet laureate who owns the bookshop. She was wonderful. We sat for a while chatting. I bought one of her poetry books. She told me about this trip to Scotland. She's told me about events at the shop. I feel like I've made a new friend, a new place to go out. The loop of joy continues if you are curious and you make the story about you. Now I'm studying her poetry. I'm also studying Gothic architecture. And my Tiny Soul Whispers doll channel is all about layering passions. Here I use tarot divination with whispers from the dolls. It often sees me sitting in silly outfits, especially at Christmas time, choosing a doll, layering that in with tarot. So layer in your passions and then you'll start to find connections. This next section is about using tarot to connect. Here I am connecting with my garden's spirit of place. I took tarot into the garden. I explored messages. I got visions. I sat and meditated, and I'm making my own little mini tarot card based on connecting with spirit of place. This is the world of the Arthurian tarot laid out as a place. You can use tarot to connect with many land spirits and spirits of place. You can use it to connect with your gods and your goddesses or your deities. Here are my specific decks for connecting with the Morrigan. One of those isn't even open yet, but I do use the Crow Tarot all the time to connect with her. So that brings so much joy into me. This has also led me to poetry writing for the Morrigan based on these readings. Again, it's a joy loop that just never stops. And with that mention of writing poetry, bring in the joy of creativity. Even if you think you are the least creative person on this earth, I can guarantee you, you are not. You do not need to be able to draw or paint to call yourself creative. You can be a creative thinker. So open up the doorway for creativity with tarot. Here I'm exploring words that were being brought up on repeat from the tarot. In this piece here, I have created a character based on some shadow work that I was doing with tarot. This is a character that's held within me, within my shadow. Also, I've got sketchbooks that are full of thoughts and themes that emerge through using tarot, and this takes that exploration just that step further. This sketchbook is a sketchbook that led me into liminal studies. You can also use creativity with recording your tarot readings. Here I've got a tarot reading spread woven. You can go as extreme and as wild as you want. There was a connection here with ancestors as well, another connection. Here is tarot study. This was my tarot study of the decans. I decided to collage the decans to understand them more for me. So whether you're studying or reading tarot, it can in some way open up a door for your creativity. It takes time, yes, but then where's the rush? This is surely what we're living for. We're living for these areas where we can bring in joy. This page was an oil painting right in the middle of a recycled, upcycled book with an exploration of the reversed Queen of Swords, which came out in my readings as a really massively important card for me. So I decided to just crack open the oil paints and just explore it and find the hidden poetry as well in this page. So get creative. And then pathwork your cards. Here you see me drawing the most vibrant vision that I've ever been given. It was a vision where the Morrigan walked into a meditation and brought a goddess with her who I didn't recognise, and then left me, the Morrigan left me working with a goddess that turned out to be Bridget. So I drew that vision and then I created this page in a sketchbook based on that drawing as a page to go to pathwork into the page. So you can create your own pathworking tools to sit with and meditate when you are pulling cards. So pathworking is just using tarot but then sitting quietly and meditating and entering the world of the card. The best deck that I've ever worked with for this is the Arthurian Tarot. Of course, the Hallow Quest that's based on the Arthurian Tarot is all based around meditation and pathworking and meeting the characters in the cards and finding messages. This has been one of the most joy-filled, fantastic experiences I've ever had with tarot. I've also thrown charms into the mix as well. The charms can bring different things into the pathworking as well. You can see the whole way the Arthurian Tarot is set up. That black arch is literally meant to be a doorway for you to imagine stepping through. You can create entire worlds to hold inside of your head where you can go to, you can ground yourself, you can explore your story, you can sit in calm and peace, and you can claim back your power. Pathworking is so joy-filled. And lastly, and really importantly, tarot brings us joy by giving us moments and places of peace and calm and grounding and silence. It can be as simple as a single candle and a stone that you found that meant something to you. It doesn't have to be a fancy altar, although the altars are fabulously fun as well to make. Over the years, using tarot at an altar, I've seen the benefits of making these altars, including challenges with friends where we challenged each other to make a Lego altar. You can make an altar in a quiet place out of anything at all, and once you bring tarot to it, you bring more joy into your life. So that's it, guys. 10 ways to live a joy-filled life with tarot. Thanks for watching.